What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel in our Georgia State Dynasty. It is time for the Year 4 offseason for the Georgia State Panthers. And to quickly recap, we had a pretty good year, 10-4, but it ended with a loss to UTSA in the New Orleans Bowl, 16-7. So let's go ahead and get in the offseason here. You're first seeing some new records that happened this previous year. A lot of new records this year. One, because we had a really good season, passing, receiving, rushing. A lot of those records are there. And also because this team is pretty new to the FBS, only 4 years in FBS play so far. So a lot of records went down this year. Up first, we're going to recap the bowl games here. And you can see we lost to UTSA in the New Orleans Bowl, 16-7. And the winner of the national championship game is Ohio State over Georgia Tech, 35-21. But look at these standings here. Georgia Tech stays number 1 in the polls, even after a loss in the national championship game. How does that happen? I wonder if that is a glitch in the game or whatnot. I mean, maybe they had a really good season, but still, they lost their last game in the national championship. And here we are recapping the Sun Belt standings. Georgia State and Old Dominion top the leaderboard at 10-4. New Mexico State at the bottom of the barrel, 1-11. Looking at some season stats here, David Reynolds had a really good year, over 3,000 yards passing, 26 touchdowns through the air. Just an overall really good season for David Reynolds, and he's got 2 more years left. Looking at the rushing stats, Lamont George, 872 yards on the ground because Derek Romero, our leading rusher, went out for 9 weeks during the season. Marcus Jackson tops the leaderboard in receiving, 72 catches, 1,099 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns. Look at some blocking stats there, and looking at the defensive stats here, Jamel Spencer, the junior redshirt, leads with 84 tackles, 17 for a loss. Tanner Strickland led the way with 12 sacks on the year. Patrick Griffin, 7 interceptions on the year, led that category. And forced fumbles, we only forced 1 fumble and recovered 1 fumble, so we need to get better forcing fumbles. Looking at the kicking, 10-14 for Colby Smith. Not a really good year for him. Looking at the punting, we punted very well. And looking at some career stats here, David Reynolds, over 5,000 yards passing so far in his career. He's got 2 more years left unless he leaves after next year. Derek Romero leaves Georgia State after 1,100 yards rushing in his career as he came in as a JUCO. David Bailey, he has 95 catches in his career at Georgia State, and he's still got 2 more years to go, along with all of our 2 other starting receivers. He's got almost 1,500 yards receiving so far in his career. Looking at some defensive stats, Tanner Strickland ends his career with 124 tackles, 37 sacks in his career. Artemis Robinson, 123 tackles so far. And we're going to look at the contract for head coach Chip Nolan here. No extension offered, as we got one last year, which was a 5-year one. And you see we have steadily improved year over year. And this year we made that jump from 6 wins to 10 wins. Now we are looking at the head coach changes throughout college, and the big ones here I believe were Virginia Tech and USC. Lane Kiffin got fired, and Frank Beamer, I want to say, from Virginia Tech either left or got fired. And hold on, what do we got here? Players leaving. We got Justin Lewis, which was a big recruit, and we redshirted him, I believe. That's why he didn't play this year. But he is leaving, and we had 1 other player leaving there. We're going to go ahead and look at the draft results, and we have no one drafted from Georgia State, unfortunately. Hopefully that will change in the near future. We can get those prospects out to the NFL. We've got 2 players who want to transfer to Georgia State, Ronnie Cade and Goodman there. We'll see if they fit in anywhere. And we're going to look at our recruiting board one more time before we put these points on and try to get these last few players. We have Steve Smith. We're going to put a ton of points on him as we want him to be the future of our quarterbacking here after we redshirt him. And we've got 13 players left on our board we're trying to get, and signing day is here, and we get a lot of players committed to Georgia State. Anthony Gross, 79 overall running back. Isaac Cole, 79 over quarterback. And we did get Steve Smith, the 78 overall quarterback as well. We only missed out on 2 of those 13 players to come to Georgia State. And look at this. Georgia State has the 16th overall recruiting class in the country this year. That is huge. 3 5-stars, 3 4-stars, 5 3-stars, and we're going to move on to position changes now. And Steve Smith is moving to quarterback, obviously. We want him to take over after David Reynolds leaves. We have Taylor Phillips here. He's going to change to a wide receiver and bolster up that receiving core here for Georgia State. Adam Monroe, we're going to move him to free safety or strong safety, it looks like. And Vinny Hill is going to move to strong safety as well, as we needed to shore up some space there. And looking at the training results for Georgia State, David Reynolds moves up 4 overall to a 92. Marcus Jackson up to a 90, that's +5. David Bailey +5 to an 88. And Patrick Griffin there +5 to an 83. So this Georgia State offense is going to be deadly next year, as the top 3 players on this team are our quarterback and 2 receivers. And we have a lot of players 70 or above on this team. Not a lot of players in the 60s anymore on this Georgia State team, and they could contend for a top 25 spot next year in the polls. And we'll look at the cut players this year. We have to cut 5 players this year, I believe, to get down to 70, and Ronnie Cade is going to be the first of those. He tried to transfer here from, I believe, East Carolina, but we're going to cut him. J.D. Haas, the senior middle linebacker, he is gone as well. And up next is going to be our kicker from last year, Colby Smith. We did get, I believe that's Zach Glover to take over, which is a better overall. So we got him. We'll cut Colby Smith. Lawrence Thomas, the running back, we are stacked at running back. We are going to cut him. And the last cut is going to be Richard Turner here, the 40 overall QB. We do not need him. He was a walk-on, I think. So we are going to move on to the offseason and custom conferences. We did not do anything with the conferences here. Let me know if next year you want me to do anything with the conferences. I'm thinking of moving Georgia State eventually, but I don't know how soon. We'll find out. We're going to move on to redshirt players here. And the first people we are going to redshirt, or first person we're going to redshirt, is going to be Steve Smith. We want to have him around for 3 years, as David Reynolds has 2 years left. So Isaac Cole will back up David Reynolds, and that could be a little iffy since we only have 2 quarterbacks on the roster. We're also going to redshirt Trevor Phillips here, the wide receiver, and Josh Everson, the 2 recruits at wide receiver that we got this offseason, because we have our 3 main guys for the next 2 years. Also, Terrence Jackson here, the freshman left tackle, we will go ahead and redshirt him as well. And Tim Neal, defensive tackle freshman, we will go ahead and redshirt him, and that will do it for the redshirts this year. Moving on to, we have one more red shirt here. James Harrison, the right outside linebacker. And our custom schedule for the season, we'll start out with Fresno State, week 1 at home in the Georgia Dome, week 2 at Oklahoma State. Then we start conference play at Troy. Then we have a bye week. Then we start our big conference play, Idaho, Middle Tennessee State, South Alabama. Then the in-state rivalry with Georgia. Then we have Western Kentucky, and so on. And coming up will be the start of Season 5, the 2017 college football season. If you have any comments or questions about this off-season video, leave those down below in the comment section. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.